Hello, Jackie. Glad that Scamp had fun in the dog park tonight, or today. It looks like there's a couple of other people on here too, but they haven't said anything in the text box. And I'm working FT8 right now and getting all over the place. 20 meters is a bit hot right now. I just finished a contact with Finland and now working on one with the amateur in Slovenia. So hoping that'll finish up before, no, it probably won't finish up before the net starts, but I'll just keep, what did I just do? But I'll just keep monitoring it and see what happens. And we'll go from there because we're going to start here in a second. Oh, there's Steve. Good evening, Steve. Just playing on FT8 here, so I'm distracted. 20 meters seems to be pretty good right now for FT8, so I may have to let you run the net, Jackie. Don't be bashful. Oh, good. I got Slovenia. And let me just get my cursor ready. Cap locks on. And we are ready to go. Good evening, everybody. This is Laird, VE3LKS, and welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew, Week 13, Friday night edition. So good evening, everybody. And at this time, we will take check-ins. This is VE3LKS. That's a noisy one.
VA3 BCQ.
Eagle Sierra. Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet. VE3HIX. Go. Echo 3 kilowatt V Tango.
Okay, I'll tell you what I have so far. I have VA3 KDK, that's Clint. VE3 PWJ Peter. VA3 BTQ Jackie and Scamp. VA3 TPS Steve. VE3 VGJ Joe. VE3 HIX Bob. VA3 DCE Doug. VE3 KZT John. And I'm sure I missed one or two because there was quite a few doubling there.
DKW.
VE3 IRB.
Okay, I acknowledge VE3 DKW and VE3 IRB. So we'll stop there and we'll go back up to the top to Clint. And since it's Friday, it's free for all Friday, so you can chat about whatever you like. Just letting you know that everyone on the Rag Chew, that is, that I did send out the meeting invites today for the Zoom meeting on Sunday night regarding field day and the logging software. So if you did not receive an email from me, just send me an email and I will forward you that information. And anyone's welcome to participate. As I say, it's just going to be a description of the revisions of field day regulations this year due to the COVID and what we're planning to do as a club and the software that we're going to use. So with that, we'll go to Clint, VA3KDK. Good evening, Clint.
Good afternoon to everybody. I don't know if anybody knows, but I've been out of town for the last month with a new job. So I just want to let you all know that that's been going pretty well. I'm sore, but I am back in town, so if anybody's got any questions to do with stuff that they trying to get a hold of me for it. That's why they haven't been able to.
Oh, excellent, Clint. And can you give us a little more details? Like, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But what company is it, and what exactly are you doing that's making your body get all beat up and sore?
Well, to make it short, I'm driving a dump truck and throwing dirt in holes, amongst other little things on the side of that. But that's the main part of the job, and that's with Global Cathodic Protection. We put anodes in the ground and weld them to water mains to preserve them. It kind of puts a charge on it, and it sacrifices the anode rather than the water main to make them last longer. That's those little holes that you see in the ground when you see a vac truck sucking it up, and you see them like every 20 feet apart and stuff like that. That's what's been going on.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad it's keeping you out of trouble, and I'm assuming that with that kind of a situation, you're just on the road the whole week, so you don't come home at night. Very good. Do you have at least your phone with you, or do you work long hours, or are you usually off by rag chew time? Because you could always come in with the IAX RPT.
Unfortunately, I don't think you guys want me talking to you from inside the shower, because I'm usually just getting in at that time. The first thing I want is to get the sand out of my hair.
Yeah, don't blame me there. Okay, very good. Well, I'm glad things are working out for you, Clint, and that's good. I'm glad that's happening. VE3 PWJ Peter.
Evening, Clint. I'll say good evening to Clint and congratulations on the job, and good evening to you, Laird, and everybody on net so far. And I was talking to a buddy of mine up in Arroyo today, and he went and got a haircut. Some people got them made, Laird, overdue, and get some more beans.
Oh, Peter, if you haven't been noticing on the YouTube channel, I got a haircut too. My son just buzzed it off a couple of weeks ago and drained some of you guys of some pocket change so that we could purchase a Zoom meeting license. And it was a fun time, and it's starting to grow actually. But it feels good because it's summertime, right? So who wants long hair in the summer? Let's see. VA3 BTQ Jackie and Scamp.
Good afternoon, Laird, and everybody on net. Scamp is sleeping on my lap. He had a very active morning running around in the dog park trying to find a dog to play with. We were the only ones there. Over.
Oh, well, that's never fun. That's too bad. But I'm sure it'll start picking up now that they've relaxed some of the guidelines. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting a belch all of a sudden. And let's see. Someone just popped on here. Oh, Gary Zed's on the YouTube channel. He's saying, a good Friday to all. All of a sudden, we can get together with up to 10 family and friends. And let me see. The call sign, and this is Steve. The call sign of the ham Laird was working when he was talking to us. Oh, you want to know the call sign, Steve? I guess you'll have to let you figure that out when you get online here. There was actually a couple of them. Let me see. There was S52D, Sierra 52 Delta. He was the one in Slovenia. And the one in Finland was Oscar Hotel 4 Mike Romeo. Oscar Hotel 4 Mike Romeo. So there you go. You can look those ones up. And let's see who's next on the list. Next on the list is Steve, VA3 TPS. Good evening up there in Fenland Falls.
Hello, VE3 LKS VA3 GPS. Good evening, Laird, and to everybody on frequency. Okay, yeah, no, I had saw you working up, so I put the call sign on there, and Jackie asked what was S52D, so I was just telling her. And not too much today, quiet day, got the chores done, and they delivered my son's boat lift today. Of course, they assembled it had it on a great big trailer. Before they realized they couldn't get it down beside the house, so they had to take it all apart, move it to the front lawn, and reassemble it, then put it in the water. Except they're watching it work. That's about it from here, Laird. Back to you.
Oh, very good. Well, as I say, if there's a will, there's a way. But too bad, sometimes something that would normally take about the next only about 3 or 4 minutes to do ends up taking an hour or two. That's just the way it goes. But at least they got it done, and glad things are going well up there. VE3 VGJ Joe.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency, and Clint, congratulations on the new job. Today, got an early start to the weekend. That wind there took out a bit of a fence between myself and the neighbors, so I got an early start on it, repairing it. Almost done there, a couple hours work, and it's going to be back as new as ever. That was quite the gust of wind there we had. Anyway, it's an old fence. It's been cobbled together in a few spots, so maybe it's going to be a time for a new one in the next few years. Other than that, not much else to report on, Laird. Back to you.
Okay, excellent, Joe. And I just remembered I need to set something aside tonight to take with me to White Feather Farms in the morning. And we can get together in groups of 10, so we don't have to have 2 circles of 5 or whatever. We can have up to 10 now in our circle, so that'll be good. But I will put down here Rotor for Joe. And now that I've written it down, I won't forget. Well, can't guarantee that, but at least I've written it down. And with that, we will go down to Bob, VE3HIX.
Good evening, Laird. Good evening, everybody on the repeater. Let's see, Clint, you're putting these anodes in the ground. I think they're zinc. I had one installed when I had a copper pipe going to my house rot out after several years, and they dragged the new pipe in with a thing we used to call a Chinese handcuff by attaching the old pipe to the new pipe, which is flexible, and pulling it back out to the street. And they attached a zinc anode, I think it was, to that. It looks like a large stick of dynamite that was lowered into the hole with the copper pipe at the joint, and no trouble since. Let's see, today Jeffrey and I were out on the motorbikes. We crossed the Durham line over past Highway 115 over to Newcastle, where they have outdoor dining and things like that, but there's nothing open really yet except a nice ice cream trailer we were at. Very, very delicious. Tomorrow after White Feather Farms, we're back here for some deck repair. So it's going to be good weather for this weekend for that kind of thing. Nice and cool in the morning. We'll need a jacket, I think. And we'll see everybody out there, I hope. Back to you, Laird, VE3HIX.
Yeah, this week has been just a weird one. One day it's so hot we had to turn the air conditioning on, and the next day we almost had to turn the heat back on. We didn't, but it was chilly there for a while, and downstairs in the basement here where my office is, I did have to turn the micro heater on. But weird weather we've been getting, but I don't mind either. It's just that I wish there wasn't so much of a swing. It'd be nice if it was just right in the middle, like maybe a nice balmy 70 degrees the whole summer. Let's see who's up next. VA3 DCE, and that's Doug. He's probably sitting on his balcony enjoying a nice evening up there in Uxbridge.
VA3 LKS, VA3DC, not a chance. I'm turning the heat on today, this evening, because it's cold out there. I got up for a bike ride this morning, just about froze, blown away and frizzed. Anyway, this COVID-19 lessening up things around there. How do we get out of the GTA temporarily so we can find a place with a haircut? My face mask won't fit properly anymore over my beard, and I can't really. I have to cover my nose or cover my beard, and or put it on end. Maybe put it on end one way, top to bottom. It might work that way. Anyway, Laird, what do you think?
Well, I can bring a small generator and my beard trimmer tomorrow if you like, Doug.
I require a skill for that job. It's a very specialized job. Number 2 all over.
Well, that can be arranged. That can be arranged. It depends on whose skill the number 2 is, though, I guess. Very good, Doug. And yes, looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of you guys up there at White Feather Farm tomorrow. And I got my shopping list ready to go, and hoping that we get to see lots of faces up there. Let's see, VE3KZT, John.
Good evening, Leonard, and all the folks on frequency. Well, I had nothing to add this morning. This morning I'll be all right. Been out one-legged working on the antenna again, and hopefully we'll see you fellas in the morning, there in the morning, hopefully, providing I don't get run over by a bus this afternoon. So we'll be hanging in here just listening to the propaganda. The E3KZT.
Very good. I like that. The propaganda. Yes. And it's yeah, I'm glad, it's silly, when you think about it. They go from 5 to 10, but everyone's all of a sudden excited. But oh well, at least there's progress. I just don't know how they got permission last week to have all the rallies that they did. But anyways, I guess that's for other people to sort out, but I just can't figure that one out at all. Anyways, VE3DKW, Mark and Ryland, good evening.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on the net. And my dad just said good evening. And well, I don't have much to say right now, but I might come up with something later. But I have one thing right now. But we actually went out on the bike today. Went out to for my first ride on the bike. My dad's bike. So we just went up the road and then came back here, and it was pretty fun for my first ride. And back to you, Laird.
Well, that's excellent, Ryland. And were you riding on a bike with your dad, or do you have your own bike now?
I was on it with my dad, and yeah, I have my own bike too.
Sounds good. Hey, listen, you and your dad aren't by chance going to be at White Feather Farms tomorrow morning at, say, around 8:30, 9 o'clock? Because if so, I do have an end-fed, an off-center-fed dipole if you guys would like to experiment with it for field day.
What time will you be there for? Because we might be there.
Yeah, I usually show up sometime between 8:30, 8:45, and a bunch of us usually stand around in the parking lot and chat. Probably till about 9:30, anyways. So we should be there till about 9:15, 9:30, and we go in and buy some groceries and grab a coffee or a donut or something, and then stand out in the parking lot and have a little rag chew. So I'll throw it in my car, and that way it'll be there. And if you guys happen to make it, bonus. Let's see. That was Ryland. So next on the list is Robert, VE3IRB.
VE3IRB. I'd like to thank you, Laird, for your help today. I've got the connector on coax. I've got the wire all spun out, and I just need to solder it. I figure on doing that later tonight, and then I'll have to figure out exactly my length. This is for building a centerfold fed dipole and a long wire antenna for 40 meters. May see you tomorrow. I'll throw it back to you.
Okay, very good. you mind if I tell the assorted masses here, Bob? What happened with the coax and how we fixed it?
Sure, it'd be a good idea, actually. I thought of it, and I thought it might be too long of a story, but you can probably sum it up a lot quicker, and I can go for it.
Okay, you realize who you're talking to, right? Okay, very good. Well, here's what happened. Bob called me today, and he's building an antenna, and I had gotten some connectors for him, and with the intent to screw them on. And there's a neat little video that I sent him on how to do screw-on connectors that's just amazing. That's the only way I do it now. And you still have to put a bit of solder on the center core when you're done, but you don't have to worry about the braid and all that. And so he tried it, but even with the braid folded back over top of the outer insulation, the connector would just slide on, and I couldn't figure out why. So Bob was wondering if there was other connectors that were different sizes, but the cable that he has was RG8, and it's got an outside diameter of 0.405, which is the same as LMR 400 or RG213, which is what I have all my connectors for. So we surmised that maybe because it was outside for a couple of decades, that maybe the sun had gotten to it and had constricted the coating a bit. So how we got around that so we could still screw it on, I'm just going to drop it here. See, I told you it wasn't going to be quick, Bob. So what we did is I got two different sizes of shrink wrap, like shrink tubing, and the end that we were going to screw the connector on, I put a smaller size of shrink tubing, and we heated it up, and it melted around the cable. And then I took the next size of shrink tubing, put it on, and heated it up and shrunk it around the cable. And then when he folded the braid back over the outside of the cable, it was then tight enough to put the connector on, and you'll never get that off by pulling. So that's what we did. Some of the purists, I'm sure will say, "Oh, that will never work," but it does, and good luck getting it off. You have to pull really hard, probably about as hard as you would if it was soldered. Anyways, that's what we did, and so Bob got to see my disaster of a garage. Although he was too much of a gentleman, he says, "Oh, don't worry, my garage is a lot worse," and you can always tell when Bob's making up stories, but he was at least being polite about it. Anyways, at this point, I will take a break, and we will see if anyone else wants to check into the COVID-19 rag chew. If so, please come now. This is Laird, VE3 LKS.
This is me. If that wasn't me, this is VA3AG. VE3 RPM.
Okay, I copy Christopher, VE3XEQ. I copy Aldo, VA3AG, and Scott, VE3RPN. There was someone else in there, but I couldn't. You were getting through the squelch of the repeater, but no audio, just scratchiness. So if you don't mind, let's give it another shot. If you've got a bit more power, maybe crank that up, and we'll see if we can get you in here. Okay, sorry, old man, can't make you out at all. Yeah, sorry, just static when you transmit. Unless that happens to be Larry, KJ7 JFV coming in from the state of Washington. In which case, that'd be one heck of a transmission with the handheld. Anyways, I see Larry's online tonight. Good evening, Larry. And what's this? You need to spend the summer. Oh, yes, I do. In the Pacific Northwest, sunny and low to mid 70s is our normal summer weather. Okay, someone kick Larry off of YouTube, would you? He's rubbing it in, and he knows what an Oshawa summer is like. So He's being the devil's advocate tonight. Very good, Larry. Yes, I would love to be out there sometime, and maybe we'll have to arrange something. So with that, we will go back up to, let's see, Christopher, and we will try that other station again in just a few minutes. We'll take these 3 check-ins, and then we'll come back to that other station and see if he's gotten into a bit better position. VE3XEQ, Christopher, and I'm almost afraid to let you have the mic tonight.
Oh, ye a little face. V3XEQ, I guess I should use my call, eh? I was just thinking earlier today, Steve's been bugging me to go on a last hurrah bear hunt up at Kapuskasing, but he threatens also to take me up there and duct tape me to a tree and smother me with honey and a peanut butter, and you know where that'll go. And I keep telling him, like, I don't think so. I just don't think it's going to work. We got 1985. We got a nice bear, big Bruin, and his bear rug is on the wall in the living room, and his head is on the plaque that when you come in the front door, that's the first thing you see looking at you with his mouth open and teeth going. Anyway, and I thought, what kind of an outcome is there going to be if I go out for the bear hunt? Now, I know what it could be. It could be at the end of the week, we'd be sitting around the fire eating bear burgers. Or the bear will be eating Christopher burgers. I'm not sure, but I think the second one is much more likely. Back to you, Larry.
Okay, I think someone was trying to get in there, but it's still nothing but static. So try something again, and we'll get back to you in a minute. Yes, Christopher, tell Steve that if he needs some help, that I will spring for the duct tape and give him a hand there. Hi. And yes, it's good having that head sitting there inside the doors you come in. I know I used to have a huge fish aquarium, and from our kitchen you could see it in the living room. And I had a ceramic skull in there, like a human type skull. And I remember we had a repairman in one day to fix our fridge. It was a friend of ours, and he looked at me and he says, "What's that in your fish tank?" And I said, "Oh, that's the last refrigerator repairman that came in here and messed me over." And he just howled. Anyways, well, you could have a lot of fun, Christopher. Sit around the fire at night. At least enjoy being out in the outdoors. VA3AG, VE3LKS. Good evening, Aldo. And let's just take a slight break and see if that other station has made improvements.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Romeo uniform on a beam antenna now.
Bill, was that you before?
Yes, it was. I was on the vertical whip, and that may be, I don't know, it may be touching something. Let me take a look out. Getting out of the vehicle here. Oh, it's laying on its side. I forgot I put the thing over. It's laying on its side across the roof. No wonder you couldn't hear me.
Okay, well, keep it that way, Bill, and keep using it. Hi. Let's see. We'll put you at the bottom of the list, Bill. And let's see, Aldo, VA3AG.
Okay, Laird, good evening, and all on there, Peter. Well, as you know, I returned my Nano VNA today. And like Joe said, he told me what happens when you do a return. You need to print a label, which I did, so on and so forth. And then once you take it to the post office and they scan it, they automatically do your refund. Man, it just the way it happened. I got back home and I had an email waiting. Your refund has been issued and the return has been completed. How about that? and I get my replacement on Monday. So Monday after work, I should be able to play with it and see how that runs. I think I'll give. Well, actually, I won't play with it. I will call Joe first, and we'll do it together. So, what else is new? Oh yeah, I got a PR781 installed today on with my radio, sounding really good. I bought it used, but it looks like brand new. That's it, Laird. Pretty cold out there. Well, not cold, cool. We were out walking the dog and kind of chilly with the wind. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the wind that's making it chilly, because if you can find somewhere where there's just a bit of a break, it's not bad at all. As a matter of fact, my outdoor thermometer is saying it's 25 Celsius. I need to change that to Fahrenheit because I can never understand Celsius. I'm old school. And let's see, what's it saying? Yeah, I can't tell anything else, but it's saying it's 25 Celsius, which is going to be around 75 degrees. I doubt that, though. There must be something wrong there. Yeah, so very good, Aldo. I'm glad you've got your Nano returned and the new one on its way, and that'll be excellent. Let's see, VE3RPN Scott.
Thanks there, Laird. V3LKS, V3RPN. Yeah, it must be this handheld. I got the word old, but then I didn't catch the second word you said there, Laird. But anyway, buddy, as for the beard bit there for Dougie, you could use that guy I recommended to you. I mean, just because he doesn't have any eyesight anymore, he still knows how to use the clippers there. Anyway, buddy, good news is my antenna didn't get knocked over. But then again, with no hookup, no coax to it, I'm not too concerned right now anyway. What else is new? I'm on the run for a quick Sobeys pickup here. By the looks of it, I'm going to have a few minutes to do that. Anyway, but we'll catch you on the next run there. V3LKS, V3RPN.
Oh yeah, you'll have a few minutes to get into Sobeys and get your items and get back out. So I think we've already been at it for what time is it now? Let me see. The time is 7:31. And so, yeah, we've been at it for 30 minutes already, Scotty, and we're still not at the bottom of the list. One more, that's Bill, and then we'll take a call for more check-ins. So, yeah, you got a few minutes to run in and run out and get back on. Very good. VE3 CRU, Bill.
Okay, Laird, VE3LKS, VE3 CRU. Yeah, I'm just sitting here in my vehicle there, having a bit of fun, doing something different regarding antennas, really low profile. And interesting to note, my retired neighbor Metro police officer across the road does not know the Highway Traffic Act as well as me. He only knows the legal requirements behind the vehicle. He doesn't know the maximum height, he doesn't know the maximum width, which I'm well aware of, and I've got antennas further off the vehicle than normal, but on one side, nothing overhang on the other. So, as I say, I should be okay. 8.5 feet is maximum width, 13 feet 6 inches maximum height, and to the rear, anything over 5 feet has to have red flag in the daytime and red light at night, just in case anybody's not aware. So, other than that, as I say, I'm looking forward to going up to White Feather Farms. I've got a few things to pass off to a few people. I don't know of, what's his name, I don't think it was called. The fellow that with that different accent, RTP, I guess it is. He'll be up there, but I'll have stuff that other people can be a mule for. Anyway, back to that, the E3CRU.
Yeah, and that's surprising. Jeffrey hasn't checked in yet tonight, so hope nothing ill toward has come of him. So we'll have to find out. Yeah, there should be a pretty good group up there tomorrow, Bill. So, but we'll find out. Let's see. It is time for the next round of check-in. So if anybody is wanting to check into the COVID-19 Rag Chew, the Week 13 Friday night edition. Anyways, if so, please come now.
VE3IGX.
Cam. Okay, I acknowledge our friend Cam, VE3IGX. Take it away, Cam. It's wide open. It's free for all Friday, so you can chat about anything you like, or apple fritters. You take your pick.
Oh, good evening, Laird, and everyone on frequency. The wife gave me my shopping list for white feathers this morning, so I gotta be down there. I did get your email regarding the Zoom meeting, and now that we're allowed 10 in a circle, I guess if you're the 11th person, you should be put in the middle of the circle and then get roasted. We could have a lot of fun there. Anyway, we'll give it on back to you. VE3LKS, VE3IGX.
Or Cam. Some people may have eggs. Just an idea. I wonder what could happen if you had eggs and someone in the middle. Interesting. Yeah, very good, Cam. Glad you got the email. And sorry about last night. I definitely wasn't meaning that to be directed at you. I hope you didn't take it the wrong way. It was meant to be just a general announcement to the whole group. And please forgive me if it came out that I was directing that comment at you last night regarding the meeting.
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling, but everything's good. So we'll see you all in the morning.
Excellent. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we were good, and I felt bad afterwards. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, anyways, it wasn't meant that way, and so yeah, we'll go from there. Anyways, with that being said, someone just said, oh, well, Lois, go wake him up. Yeah, he has to be on the net. He's one of the long timers. So unless he's not feeling well, if he's not feeling well, don't wake him up. But if he's just having a nap for the sake of having a nap, my goodness, go put a radio in his hand. Anyways, we'll go back up to the top to Clint, VA3KDK, and you mentioned your hair. Well, Clint, we got a solution for that. You can take the beard trimmer down to the lowest setting, and you don't have to worry about getting sand in your hair. It'll just come right out.
Well, I actually got a set of professional clippers here. I just got to get somebody to actually do it for me. And that. But I think somebody was mentioning what I happen to be using for anodes. And the ones we're using are actually magnesium.
Okay, Bob, did you copy that?
Or made of zinc. And I know the ones on the boat are all zinc, but I stand corrected. VE3HIX.
I'm sorry, I may have walked on you just a bit at the first there, Bob. You might want to repeat that again.
Stuff like that. You've probably seen the same company here in Oshawa. We're actually out of Hampton there, so. But for the last month, I've been in London, and I have a week off, or maybe a week and a half, and then we're going to start in Scarborough, and we'll be doing them there. At least these ones will be a lot easier. We had a hard time finding the water main there, even with the locator, because they're old cast pipes. So it was a fun experience for the last month. And yes, those who were wondering, when I said London, I was probably less than 15 kilometers from where the tornado hit.
Yikes! Well, I'm glad you weren't in the path there, and that area is notorious. I I know there was alerts out for London. I think not Chatham. What's the one coming this way? Down in as far south as Simcoe and that area. So yeah, it was some pretty good storms come through the other night. And here in Oshawa, it was crazy because 1 minute it was totally calm, and then it was just like a train went through. It was just all of a sudden high wind, instant high winds and rain, and it was crazy. So glad everything worked out there. VE3 PWJ.
Yeah, Diane was talking to her twin up in Nairn, Ontario. That's north and a little east of Strathroy. She didn't get very much of anything, but the storms are different up around that area than we get around here, that's for sure. It's like a little warmer, I guess, being a little farther to the southwest. Anyway, we'll say good evening to everybody on net, and we can get some more beans, do so, but have a good day tomorrow, Laird, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, very good. And yeah, for some reason that area just gets it. It's just I think it's just a geography thing. And it was Woodstock that I was thinking of. And I actually spent some time down in the Simcoe Port Dover area for a few years. And so familiar with the storms that they can get down in that area. It's not very pleasant. And Diane has a twin. Well, all I can say is I'm glad you don't have a twin, because one is enough.
Yeah, I would probably say the same thing, Laird. Yeah, I don't think they'd want to me either.
Yes, double the goodness for Diane, though. Very good. VA3 BTQ, Jackie.
So Laird, afraid I don't have too much else to add. We just had a normal busy day with yoga and riding and some errands. A friend over for a glass of wine, and we're good to go. Over.
Oh, excellent. Now, you don't do yoga on the horses, do you? Like, I know people have this, what they call goat yoga, where they get the goats jumping around on them when they're doing yoga, but you don't do it while you're riding the horses, do you?
No, I am not that brave. Thank you. Over.
Okay, very good, Jackie. Because that we would need to get a picture of holding a handheld, an equestrian yoga mobile radio. Anyways, Steve, VA3 TPS.
Okay, Larry, very good. Although I have that antenna in my truck, and I will also bring your haircut and beard money with me, so I can give that to you. And I guess they require masks to be worn at that place now, do they?
I think to get in, you do, but if you need one, don't worry about it. I'm sure one of us may have a spare one. I think I probably have a spare one in the car that I haven't used yet. So if you don't have one, don't worry about it. But if you do, bring it along just in case.
Yeah, actually, I picked up a package of 10 there in the car the other day, so I have it sitting here with me, so I'll throw it in the truck. Okay, very good. I'll be listening to the end here. Thanks again for doing it, and we'll see you in the morning there. And you have a great night. Have a treat, everybody on the net tonight. VA3 TPS.
Yeah, in person, I think this masking is a big hoax anyways, but I've got one that if the place requires it, I throw it on, and I'll use it again next time I go there. But I think Costco's requiring a mask now too. I got to find some doodle art online though, and make something funny on mine, and at least get a rise out of people when I'm wearing it. I could put on my goalie mask, but there you go, with the toilet paper on the side, like on the earlier rag chew. Anyways, I won't go that drastic yet. Joe, VE3 VGJ.
Yes, there's not much to add to the second round here. Bob mentioned about the ice cream place there in Newcastle. I'm just running to the same place. I go with a friend there quite often. It's the trailer in behind one of the restaurants, just as you come in town on the south side. And when you're coming in from the from the west. Anyway, it's always a good spot there. We go in there and get a cone, and then head down to the lake there and have it. They have a flavor there called Algonquin Canoe, I think it is. I got to try that next time. I usually get chocolate or vanilla. I'm going to venture out and get this Algonquin Canoe. I just got to try it. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a little different by the sounds of it. Back to you.
That's the place, the E3HIX.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Oshawa cannot have any outdoor stuff going on yet, but can Bowmanville, or is it just once you get out past out to Newcastle that's available? I'll send it back to Bob.
It's GTA Durham, so I think the boundary there is 115, and anything east of that supposedly can be open, but most places are not. But the ice cream's great. Back to you, Larry.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I just wasn't sure where they delineate the GTA, because I know Joe lives in Bowmanville, and he calls that the GBA, the Greater Bowmanville area. And I was actually there this morning. I got up early and had to get some stuff at Home Depot, so it was a bit early to go up and sit in the parking lot in Oshawa, so I made the drive over to Bowmanville, and I was in and out of there in about 10 minutes, and then I sauntered down to Skylight Donuts. They only have drive-through, so I got a nice brew of Skylight coffee, and then meandered back home on the back roads, and it was quite nice. And still made it home in time to what time I'd normally be waking up and getting ready for work at home. So it was a nice morning, but chilly. Had to wear a sweater most of the day. VE3HIX. Bob again, take it away.
Okay, the only thing left to add for the day was I finished the cleanup from that big storm a couple of nights ago that blew a lot of stuff down, including some big branches. Everything's cut up into logs and stored properly and drying out in the woodpile, and we'll see everybody, we hope, tomorrow morning sometime around 9 o'clock up at White Feather Farms. VE3HIX. Back to you, Larry.
Yeah, you mentioned last night that you would dry it out and burn it. Do you have a wood stove in your house?
Just a fireplace, but I've got enough to keep the fireplace going for a long time now. Over.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, not too many places have that anymore, and so that's cool. It's always, I love the smell of a wood fire. I know in the fall, when you're walking around, it's nice when someone in the area has a wood stove in their house or a fireplace, and you can smell it. It's just something nice. And there's something about the feel of wood heat too inside. It's more of a moist heat, and it just feels good. Let's see, BA3 DCE Doug.
Well, thank you, Laird, for not skipping me on this time through. I was just thinking, you're following Joel and then Bob. Joe's been skipped. You skipped him about 4 times, he said. Bob once or twice. I wonder if either one of them skipped on 2 different nets, because I experienced the skipping on another net last night, so now I'm up to 2 nets. Is that kind of some kind of a record, or am I just prone to forgetting about that? 7-3, Laird.
Doug, there are no other nets besides the COVID-19 rag chew net. Anything else just pales in comparison. And I mean, you may get skipped on those other ones, but because they just don't want to talk to you. If you get skipped here, it's a badge of honor. So, and you get a virtual plaque for it. So, you should hope that you get skipped here, because pretty soon you won't have enough room on your virtual wall to have them all.
I was wondering about that, Laird. Thank you.
No problem. I aim to clarify anything that needs to be clarified. And usually that just makes it all the more murky. Let's see. VE3KZT John.
Okay, well, we're back again for the remainder of the day, and maybe I should scrounge some stuff if there's anybody going to the better the more I need to get 10 feet of coax that I can put an end connector on one side and an SO239 on the other, about a 10-foot length. hip connectors for LMR 400, so a piece of coax in that diameter would be perfect if anybody can help me.
Okay, so that would be anything like a RG213, obviously LMR 400 or RG8 type cable, the thicker cable. So if anyone's got about 10 feet that John can abscond with, throw it in your vehicle and take it up to him at White Feather. I may, John, what was I know you mentioned last night you were looking for an N connector to SO239. So is that the N connector side is going to be a male, and the SO the 239 would be the female, correct?
That's correct. Now I have the ends. I purchased the ends, but individually, and then I'm putting up a vertical for my 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and they want a 10-inch loop before I hook the coax hardline to it, and I don't have enough to make a loop. So that's what I'm trying to scrounge. I don't need to scrounge it, I'll pay for it, but that's what I have to do. VE3KZT.
Okay, well, let's just take a short break here, and we'll just put a quick call out. Does anybody have 10 feet of cable that you could spot John here?
What cable number does he want?
Well, he's got LMR 400, but basically anything that's the thicker cable, the 0.405 outside diameter. So that would be like RG213, RG8, anything along the thicker side. Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, John. We will come back to that after we finish the net. So stick around, and we'll see if anybody can help you out. I know I've got coax in the garage, but it's older coax. I'm not sure how good it is, so I couldn't tell you whether it would work or not. But worst case scenario, I can throw that in my vehicle. Man, I'm going to have a vehicle full of amateur radio equipment tomorrow, I think. Anyways, let's see who's next on the list here. Rylan and Mark, VE3 DKW. I can hear you. It's not as clear as the last time, but I can make out everything you're saying. Okay, I did catch most of that, Ryland. And yes, very good. I'm just making a list here of stuff I need to throw in, and I will put in that off-center fed dipole, and you'll just have to look at some videos online to see how it works and what you need to do to set it up. But it's not that complicated. You will need coax, so I don't have enough coax for that, and. Very good. So hopefully we'll see you there in the morning, and along with everybody else. Let me see. Who can I skip tonight? I haven't skipped anybody yet. VE3 IRB, Robert.
VE3 IRB here. To Chris, it's interesting. You mentioned about hunting up in Kapuskasing. My father was born just outside of Kapuskasing in the town of Farquhar, or Pokey, they called it, or whatever. And my grandmother apparently was a marksman, and she used to hunt for bounty. There was bounty on various animals. These times, this was in the 30s. My grandfather was a guard at the prisoner of war camp up in Kapuskasing.
Well,
anyways,
cool.
A long time ago, but back to you.
Now, Bob, there's something we didn't know about you. You need to enlighten us with some stories that I'm sure your grandfather told you about being a prisoner of war guard at the camp.
Unfortunately, he died wrapping up a gift for me. I was born on the 16th, and he died on the 18th, 1959. And so I never did meet any of my grandparents other than my one grandmother that lived till just a few years ago. So I never did hear any of the stories, but he fought the First World War. He was too old for the second, so they sent him up to Kapuskasing to be a prisoner or prison guard for the captured Germans. They kept them up there at the time. Back to you.
Yeah, and just one final question, Bob. Is there anywhere that lists all the prisoner of war camps that we had here in Ontario? Because I know there was one in Bowmanville there on Lambs Road North. There was one up in Huntsville, and obviously one up at Kapuskasing that I just learned about. Is there a list somewhere that tells you where they all were in Canada?
I would presume so, but I honestly don't know. I believe there's one up in Penetanguishene as well. I think that was the nastier ones. It was the officers in Bowmanville, and I think just whoever up in Kapuskasing, but I don't know that to be official. I know the officers were Bowmanville. Back to you.
Oh, okay, very good. Interesting story, though. I like that. I'm always fascinated with the World War II prisoner of war camps that we had here. Let's see, who's next on the list? Should I skip Christopher? I need a voting tab on here. Anyone got a voting tab? Should I skip Chris? No, I won't skip Christopher. VE3XEQ. We'll let you have it one more time.
Oh, Laird, it's so nice to feel loved. Yes, Foke. My brother laughed his head off when I called it Farquhar, because if he reads a sign in English, it would say Farquhar. And when I said it, he killed himself laughing, because, of course, it's Foke. We just stayed, my brother lived in Moonbeam, just up the road from Poke, not just a matter of a few miles. Then he moved into Cap. But we go down the Chain of Lakes Road out of Moonbeam in south of Cap. We go down about 40 miles. I got this book before the COVID thing, and it's the most fascinating book I have ever read. It's quantum physics on neutrinos and quarks, lipids. It just covers all the the study of the particles and so forth. But I sound like I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. Don't get fooled. Don't be fooled, because I'm a little brain dead at times. But this is 15 times. I'm not joking. 15 times I listened to this reading this book to me out of my machine, and I'm trying to absorb as much as I possibly can before I return it. It's really fabulous. I'm going to say 7-3. This is my second go around. Everybody, take care. Have yourself a nice day, and remember to be kind to somebody. It's really important. V3 LKS. Yeah, that's it. V3XCQ. And see, you didn't suffer at all tonight.
Very good, Christopher. Yes, you didn't torment my soul, and stuff like that, like you did earlier this week. Anyways, glad you were able to join us tonight, and always fun to have you on. And glad you've made it a regular to come in here on a regular basis. VA3AG Eldo, and we better get you in quick before Din Din's ready. And by the way, what did you get at No Frills today for Din Din tonight?
I didn't end up going in No Frills at all. I ended up going to Costco later. I was looking to buy some coffee things with my Keurig upstairs. So I got some Van Hoot over at Costco. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't end up going in there. Just went to the post office, that's it. Laird, the connectors you were talking about, I assume they were PL259s, and are they the regular ones? So you just fold the shield back onto the cable, and then just screw it on and solder the center. Is that how it works?
It sure is, but it's not easy, because when you pull the shield back over top of the outer shield, it's you have to put it in a vise and turn it with a pair of pliers. Doing it by hand would be difficult. I can send you a video of the guy online that I learned it from, and but I find it works really well. I've done it on a couple of pieces of coax now, and it works like gangbusters. The nice thing is you can just take that little bit of solder off the tip if you need to, and reuse the connectors again instead of using the crimp-on ones.
Yeah, Roger. You know what? I did that many years ago because I couldn't solder them. I didn't have a soldering iron hot enough to be able to solder the shield. And, it's a pain in the neck trying to do that. So, yeah, I think the next time I'll do that. Anyway, I think you get a pretty good connection with that way. Anyway, I don't think I have anything else to add here. No, I'm going to be on 75 meters later on, playing a little bit with a microphone, trying to set it up better if I can, get a better setup, and that's about it. So I think right now I'm going to say 73 to all, and I'm going to be listening out, and that's that. V3LKS and the whole net, VA3AG.
Excellent, Aldo. Well, thanks for joining us this evening, and can't wait till you get that Nano VNA going there Monday night. Joe's a great guy to help you with that. He helped me quite a bit with mine, and he had a great presentation on Zoom one night for us too. Maybe we'll have to do that again sometime. And now that we've got the paid version of Zoom, we don't have to worry about everyone getting dumped out and then coming back in after 40 minutes. We can have a meeting up to 24 hours. Theoretically, here we go. We could set up a Zoom meeting for field day and just let it run the whole time. And everyone could be sitting there chatting back and forth. You shouldn't give me that idea, Aldo. We may be onto something here. I wonder if we get extra points for doing that. Anyways, have a great evening, and looking forward to seeing you Sunday evening on the Zoom meeting for the field day. VE3RPN, Scott.
V3LKS, V3RPN. Well, I'm broke again there, Laird. What am I going to do? I guess I'm going to have to pull out your card there to do some shopping tomorrow, buddy. Anyway, I went in there and spending I think I was spending $20, and I think I spent 75, so there you go. Anyway, it's all good stuff and stuff we need for the family. Now, tomorrow I got to buy stuff for my sister, so that's a good deal too, I guess. Anyway, buddy, what else is there going on? Yeah, I got your message there, and I'll be hopefully doing Zoom. I can't see any issues yet. You never know in our house, so. Today I had mother-in-law up for 4 hours. She couldn't stand, but she tried. And the wife was taking Dad's apartment apart. And I'm going, oh my gosh, that's like an afternoon from HELL. Anyway, keep up the good work, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. I'll be the guy with the fur coat and the long pants. Over to you there,
drag shoe controller, V3 RPN.
Very good, Scotty. And yes, just a reminder, because some people have come on since we started the net. We are doing a Zoom meeting on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be about the changes to the field day regulations this year due to COVID, and how we as a club are going to handle that. Now, people have sent me an email already indicating that they were interested in being part of that. If you didn't send me an email and have not received an email from me about it, please send me an email and I will forward you the meeting request so that you can join in with us too. Even if you're not working field day, you just want to see what's going on and how we're going to handle it, you're more than welcome to join us. And it's not just for club members, it's for basically anybody who wants to join in. But even if you're not a club member, you can still work field day. And if you want to, you can apply your points not only to yourself, but to a designated club. So you could say, yeah, I want my clubs to go to the North Shore Amateur Radio Club. And we would gain the benefit of any points that you had. So something to keep in mind. And again, if you didn't get an email, my email address is my call sign, which is Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra at yahoo.ca, VE3LKS at yahoo.ca. And with that, we will go down to Bill, VE3CRU.
Okay, Larry, and all assembled. Yes, you're talking about John, the 3 kilowatt. Oh God, forgetting his name here now. KZT, who's got a great signal right there. Mentioning about him needing coax. Well, how can I go hunting for coax when I've got you on here chatting away to everybody there? I can't walk away from the net to look for coax. In truth, I've been in the garage, I've been moving stuff around, I got all kinds of coax here, there, and everywhere. I just have to reorganize it so that I know what I need and what I can hand out. But, hey, some way or another, we'll find something for John there. As I say, not a problem, not a problem. And of course, it'll have a connector on at least one end, if not both ends there. So, anyway, I guess that's it for me. Oh, by the way, one question. Who is your club historian? I know IRB is going to be the club story of stuff in his garage, but who is the club historian over?
I'm going to say Robert, but you know what? I couldn't say for sure. Robert, are you our club historian?
Not that I know of. I don't know enough of it.
Okay, well, let's do it this way. If anybody is opposed to Robert being our club historian, speak now. Okay, the silence carries it. No, if Robert would be interested, we would be more than happy for him to do it, but we'll let him consider it. We'll give him some time. And so at this point, we don't know for sure, Bill, but we'll try to find out. I've never thought of that. I know Mike Sherba, DKW, who's now Mark and Rylan. He was the club historian for a long time, but I just don't know. So we'll figure that out, and we'll get back to you at some point once we've been able to iron that one out. Let's see, VE3 IGX Cam. And did you go golfing today? If you were hitting towards the east, you could probably get an extra 50 yards out of your shot.
Yes, I did get the golfing in at 7:30 this morning. It was windy and cold, and I had to wear my jacket all the way around. And on the first hole, I was putting, and the bloody gust of wind come up and blew my ball away from the hole. And that was the downgrade of the rest of the the other 8 holes. Anyway, I'll say 73 to everybody, and so I'll see you shopping tomorrow morning. VE3LKS, VE3IGX.
Yes, very good, Cam, and looking forward to that too. And just letting you know that Lois, Jeffrey's better half, is online tonight as well. And I think she may be a candidate too for the club historian, because I think she said something on here about her wanting to be the historian. I could be wrong, but we'll have to discuss that at a club meeting. And which reminds me, this coming Sunday is going to be the meeting for the field day and the software and that. The next weekend on Sunday at 7 p.m. will be our club meeting. And again, that'll be open not only to club members, but anybody else who would like to join in. So Larry out there in Washington, if you have nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon, I guess that would be 4 p.m. your time. You're more than welcome to join us. Just let me know and I can add you to our email list. And yeah, we'll go from there. Anyways, I'm at the bottom of the list, and I'm just going to take another quick call for check-ins. So if anybody's out there who's just been a bit apprehensive about keying the mic, now's the time to do it and get logged in on the COVID-19 Rag Chew. Oh, man. Okay, nothing heard. Any more comments, questions, critiques, praises? If anyone has anything like that, let me know. We can discuss that now. Oh, everybody left. Okay, I was probably talking to myself for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, very good, everybody. It's been a fun evening as always, and hope everyone has a great weekend. And hope to see you all, or some of you, anyways, on Sunday night on the Zoom meeting for the field day. And the rest of you, I will talk to you on Monday night on the Rag Chew at 7 p.m. 73s, everybody, and thank you for joining us. If it wasn't for you guys, the Rag Chew would just be this old guy talking into thin air. So you definitely make it what it is. VE3LKS, and I'll be clear. Sorry, Bill. I'm assuming you said something about a contest, but you were muffled there at the beginning.
I did. I just got to get a little digging, but I know I said we'll see you in the contest. They won't have a boring weekend. Anyway, have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Okay, very good. 73, everybody.
Recheck.
Oh, recheck. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, John.
What about your neighbor to get in on field day to help the club, Bill? BA3 Whiskey Tango Bravo, your neighbor.
Yeah, I mentioned that the other night when he was on, and for anybody to send me an email, but I haven't received anything from him yet. But as we get a bit closer, maybe I will drop the bug in his ear again. I think he does have that suite of software. So I think he mentioned that he has that suite of software that we're going to be using, and Field Day's part of it, because I think he's got everything. And so as it gets closer, maybe I'll drop the bug in his ear again. But a great idea there.
I talked to him a couple of times and mentioned the club, and he kind of mentioned that he might get his feet wet and join, but obviously that hasn't happened. But it might be worth giving him a shout anyway, just for curiosity. BE3KZT Clear.
Yeah, I'll just walk up the street and shake his tower a bit or something. Because literally, I think he's like 8 houses away from me, just on the other side of Adelaide. So, and the thing is, I've known Bill for a long time. I knew him before we were even ham radio operators. But I know up to this point, anyways, he's always had something in conflict on Tuesday nights with what would be our normal club activity night. So I knew up to this point he hasn't been able to do that. But yeah, I know I will make a point to contact him again and drop that bug in his ear again. But that's good. Yeah, the more the merrier, and the more fun we can have, the better.
Just word for thought. V3KZD will be cleared. See you in the morning.
Okay, 73, John, and looking forward to it. VE3 LKS.